All right, ladies and gentlemen, with me today I have Armaj Adams out of DeSoto, and I got to watch him just this past weekend at Baylor's last camp, and he's a big dude. Big
Yes,
dude. The
sir.
film does not do justice to how big a man that guy is. Just did extremely well at the Baylor camp. We'll get into that a little bit later. Um, I mean, he's just a force to be reckoned with on things that I've seen in his film that I've watched. Not
Thank
someone
you.
you want to see coming at you from a pull and tackle. So, man, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's good. Glad to have you on the show with us today. Like I said, you really stood out to me at the Baylor camp. Definitely wanted to get you on the show. One of the things, just to lead off with, what have you been up to this off season?
Man, working. Coach Mathis back, and we having a lot of fun going to work.
That's great. You got big things planned, ready for the season?
Yes, sir. Big things. No L's taken this year. We sweeping everybody.
That's awesome. I love the confidence. So this off season, have you gone to any outside of the Baylor camp? Have you gone to any other camps or anything?
Actually, when summer started, I decided to rest my body this time, and the Baylor camp was my first camp.
Oh, good. That's fortunate for me to be able to see you, and then fortunate for everybody else that was out there to be able to see you. That being your first camp of the summer. I want to go into that a little bit more on since it was your only camp. How was the Baylor camp for you?
It was wonderful. They got some great coaches. I met some people that I go against during the summer, during the school year, and I made some new friends.
Awesome. Did you learn any new techniques or anything, or is it all pretty much just honing up, trying to perfect your craft?
A little bit of both. I learned some great things on zone plays and fine tune some technique issues.
All right, that's great. And have you gone on any of the visits this summer to any of the campuses?
Uh, no, sir. I took most of my visits during the school year.
Where were some of those visits that you went to?
I visited A&M. I went to one of the LSU games. I seen Louisiana Tech. I seen UNT. I think that's it.
There's some pretty
And
high
TCU.
profile. I'm sorry, I cut you off on that last one. What was that one?
Oh, and TCU. I'm sorry.
Those are some pretty high profile schools that you listed off there. How's your recruiting process been so far? I know you have a few offers that are in there, Illinois State being one of them. Keenan Hall is an excellent evaluator when it comes to Texas talent.
I love
So
it.
go into some of the details on a few of your offers that you have there.
Well, when I visited UNT, they liked the things I said and things they seen from me on film. And Coach Langston, he loved me, and also uh, Southern Mississippi came to the school and saw one of my practices and talked to Coach Mathis and my offensive line coach, which the offensive line coach that's at Southern Mississippi coach my offensive line coach. So we got ties.
Oh, that is a great tie-in to have right there. And none of those schools are really slouches. UNT's doing extremely well in their conference, and Southern Miss historically has done extremely well on a lot of what they've done in the season. So, I mean, neither one of those are anything to slouch about. And like I was saying, Keenan Hall's an outstanding evaluator of talent at Illinois State. So just
Yeah.
having him recognize your ability and what you have to do.
Yeah, he was my first too. I give a big shout out to him. He was my first.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. Anybody that shows up or usually gets an offer from them, I always like to check them out. Who is kind of standing out to you? You don't have to name a leader or anything, but if some of the guys that are kind of standing out to you so far in your recruiting process.
UNT. I took 2 visits down there, and every time I come back, I have a handwritten letter from each coach.
That's awesome. I love the love that they show to players like that.
Also, I was just talking to Keenan hauled like a day or two ago.
That's great. Do you have a timetable that you may think that you might want to commit by? Is it going to be after the season, maybe sometime during the season?
It's between during the season and after the season.
So no specific date yet. Right now, still kind of trying to feel things out.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. What kind of plans do you have going? I know you said at the start, no L's taken. What do you? But go into a little bit more detail. What kind of plans do you have going into your senior season here?
Man, I got some big plans. We planning on going to state. First, we plan on beating Cedar Hill. Then, hopefully, meeting Duncanville in the playoffs, beating them, and play whoever we got to play in the state.
That's awesome. Those are some lofty goals and some good goals to have. Dropped a few big names that were in there, and those guys definitely have a target on their back, being who they are. But that's awesome to have your sights set on them and ready to take it all the way to state. Ben, anything right now that you could have, or any school right now that you could talk to that you wish would turn around and I guess show you some more love? Is there anybody that you kind of would like to have stand out a little bit more to you, or are you just ready to start racking up some offers your senior year?
Both. I wish A&M would talk to me a little bit more in Oklahoma.
Have you had some contact with those schools? I know you've said that you visited A&M, but have you had some other contact with those schools?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Man, it has been awesome talking to you today. Just short, sweet, to the point. I really like it. That's how you can kind of say that's how you do your blocking too, because you pancake some dudes real quick in those highlights that we were just showing. But
yes, sir. I love to finish.
Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely do. Armaj, man, it has been great talking to you today. You've got some real lofty goals set ahead for you, and from what I can see on the work ethic from this last camp that I watched you at, you can definitely go out there and achieve them. So I hope you do go out there and do that, take it to some of those big names, and become an even bigger name for yourself going into state and into the playoffs. So
yes,
hope all that is a goal set for you, and that you can achieve it. And you're definitely one I'm going to be keeping my eye on going into the season.
Yes, sir. I'd like to give a shout out to Missouri also, and my brother. They go to Duncanville, Kendrick Blackshaw.
Awesome. I'm a big fan of Kendrick too. He's got some big things coming up on him also.
Yes,
so, man, it has been great talking to you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And like I said, I'm going to be keeping my eye on you during the season. I'll probably hit you back up for another follow-up interview in the middle of it.
Yes, sir. Shout out to you.
All right. Thank you very much, man. Thanks for joining me.